streets might make the going slow, but many of the drivers live here, so they certainly know their way round. There are very few runoff areas, so the slightest driver error can end in disaster.
Thank you, Murray, and welcome to round 4 of my F1 99 career mode, as we are now in Monte Carlo. So probably one of my favourite tracks to drive on the game, but I will not be expecting a good result here. The reason why is I suffer from a condition called dyspraxia, so my hand-eye coordination is really bad. You will see me hitting the walls in really stupid places. You might think I'm drunk at times. That you'll be thinking, how on earth did you do that? So I'm not expecting anything special from this race. If I can get 1 or 2 points, I'll be happy with that. As we go on to our first lap of qualifying here, as we climb up the hill through the casino square. It's a great place to drive on this game, really tricky to get right, and if you do it perfectly, you know you're going to be on a good lap, as we go 5 seconds faster than Mika Salo at the end of the first sector, going to the end of the second sector, which is just before the chicane, and we're over 8 seconds in front. But the chicane on this game, you have to be really steady with it, as we provisionally take pole position with a 109.5. The chicane, it's very strict with shortcuts. If you go just a little bit too much over that curb, it will cancel your lap. So it's something we need to be aware of in the race as well, as we get another shortcut penalty or a shortcut warning there, so the lap won't count. Now you might see I'm quite desperate to get past this Benetton here. The reason why is we're at the end of the session. There's only a few seconds left on the clock, so we need to get across that line to get another lap in, because at this moment here it's David Coulthard who's on the pole, but we won't be beating David Coulthard because we've lost our nose cone, so we won't actually have the time to go in and get a new one fitted. So it was as I was going down the pit lane was when the session ended.
In pole position, David Coulthard. Heinz Harald Frentzen is alongside on row 1. Michael Schumacher sits in 3rd place. In 4th, Eddie Irvine. 5th place for Damon Hill. In 6th spot, Ralf Schumacher. Giancarlo Fisichella takes 7th. In 8th, Mika Häkkinen. Alexander Wurz is 9th. 10th place for Jarno Trulli. 11th is Alessandro Zanardi. Mika Salo sits in 12th place. Johnny Herbert is in 13th place. 14th place is Jack Villeneuve. Olivier Panis starts in 15th. Toramosuke Takagi will start 16th. Rubens Barrichello is 17th. In 18th is Pedro de la Rosa. Marc Genet starting 19th. Jean Alesi starts 20th. 21st is going to be Luca Badoa. And starting right at the back will be Pedro Diniz.
So probably more of a grid of that, what we would expect on this game after the last couple of rounds where we saw the McLarens and the Ferraris really low down. But overall, I'm happy with that qualifying to be in second, only a 10th behind the pole position man, David Coulthard. So we're lining up in our grid spot here, and we're going to go over to Murray Walker and the red lights.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go!
So really poor reaction there by myself, and we've already lost second place to Michael Schumacher as we hit the inside wall of Sander Vort. That would be quite a common cause for retirements in real life Grand Prix, as we get the run up into the casino square and hit the wall again. So as I was trying to say with the Sander Vort, before they removed the inside, I think it was a roundabout in real life, they removed that wall, and the amount of accidents in that corner went down as we go into the Portier, and we're going to go round the outside of Michael Schumacher, and we've done him, as we actually got such a good run here that we might be looking at passing David Coulthard through the tunnel into the chicane. Will we be able to outbrake him? He's going quite defensive here, so we're best staying back here, and we hit the inside wall, and that causes us to shortcut the chicane. So with the chicane, I think in this game, if you get, I think it's 3 shortcuts in 10 laps, then it thinks about giving you a stop-go penalty. So we need to keep that to an absolute minimum in this race to avoid getting any unnecessary penalties. As we go through the final corner at the end of the first lap, it will be David Coulthard in the lead from myself in second. Michael Schumacher will be in third, and I think Eddie Irvine will be in fourth, followed by Ralf Schumacher as it comes up there. No, it's actually going to be Damon Hill from Ralf Schumacher who's in sixth. Hakkinen, Fisichella and Wirtz, followed by Salo. So Hakkinen's got past Fisichella as we look further down the order, and I think that was Eddie Irvine having a look at Michael Schumacher going into the Mirabeau and into the Hotel Hairpin. So Eddie Irvine is having an absolutely cracking championship this year. Won the opening 2 rounds. He did retire from San Marino, but his lead was so big he still kept the championship lead. As we go on to lap 5 here, and we're going to pass David Coulthard in the tunnel, and that seems to be our one strong spot here compared to the AI, is in the Portier and through the tunnel. They seem to be really slow through there in comparison, as we go through the fast chicane at the swimming pool into the slower part as we're leaving it towards the Rascasse. And the Rascasse is really tight left and right, and have not managed to get the steering to the right. We've lost first, we've lost second, and Eddie Irvine did get in front of Michael Schumacher, but now we've repassed Eddie Irvine. We'll be able to keep that second place as we go into Saint-Devote, and we've gone a little bit too wide there, and Eddie Irvine's taken the position back. So second place swapping a good number of times over a couple of laps to go later on into lap flat out through to back into the chicane at the swimming pool. We're going to have a look at the inside of Eddie Irvine. He's turned across us, and we've been rear-ended by Michael Schumacher, and that's Mika Hakkinen who's now hit us. It's absolute chaos. As Murray Walker says there, it's absolute mayhem there. They do say when you go swimming that you're not supposed to do any bombs. I tried to do a huge bomb up the inside of Eddie Irvine, and it backfired. As we go on to lap 7, and we can see our teammate Damon Hill has retired again. So he's retired twice in the opening 4 rounds. So what is happening with our teammate and his reliability? It's turning into an absolute disaster for him, and our race is going to be turning into a disaster as we let Mika Hakkinen go through. Not intentionally, but he's managed to get in front of us as we go down into 5th place, and Ralf Schumacher is not that far behind us, and we're quite lucky to still stay in 6th place. So we're skipping on to lap 13 here, and the leading 5 have all bunched up together, so we could be expecting some fireworks here in a few moments as we go through the tunnel towards the chicane. And Mika Hakkinen is just far enough ahead so we can't think about doing an overtake there. And as we go through the swimming pool here, we're going to get some quite big developments, so I'll just let this one play out for a few moments.
He's just clipped the wall though. Something's happened. The yellow flags are out. The safety car will give them time to clear up the track and restart the race.
So I had a bit of a moment there where I hit the wall, and a few corners later there was a Minardi with its engine on fire. So possibly oil through the chicane that may have contributed to me hitting the wall. But we've lost Marc Genet's Minardi, and they've sent the safety car out, so we're all bunching back up together as we go for the restart. Now on this game you cannot overtake until the safety car reaches its position where it stops in the pit lane. So the real life rule at the time was you couldn't overtake until you got to the start-finish line. But it's only about now was when the safety car stops in the pit lane, and we've got our position back from Mika Hakkinen. We'll be able to get our position back from Michael Schumacher. No, we won't, because we've lost our nose, and we've hit Mika Hakkinen as we bounce off the wall. And Mika Hakkinen is also out of the race. So a bit like my teammate Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen has retired from the 2 of the opening 4 races as we come into the pit lane to get a new nose cone. So imagine how close this championship would be if some of the leaders just stopped retiring. So we come into the pits for a new nose cone, And as you might have seen there, I was trying to see, could I get to the end of the race if I put as much fuel in the car as possible? And the answer to that is yes, I can get to the end of the race with the fuel I've got in the car. So hopefully that will be our only stop of the race. So we've dropped all the way down as we go on to lap 17 as we're passing one of the cross for 15th position. I'm not used to being this far back. So we've got past one of the cross, and then up in front of us we've got Pedro de Nitz in the Sauber. And he was to be quite a pain to get past, to be honest, as we get confirmation there on the screen that we are chasing him down. And he was really tricky to get past as we get a really useless transition there. We've seemed to have skipped to the exact same spot as where we were. So we go down the start-finish straight here, possibly having a look around the outside of Pedro de Nitz, not quite able to make it done. But as we go through this casino square towards the hotel hairpin, still getting very defensive with us as we try and send one up the inside, and he stopped on the apex so we hit him, going into the portier, and there is a lot of contact there with one car, but we seem to have got away with it and we're into 14th place. So next up is one of the Benettons, which is Alexander Wirtz, and we're going to go around the outside of him, and we hit the other cross, nearly called it a Ligier there. You know, people remember when the cross team used to be Ligier, but that was the cross of Panis. As we have a look at the inside of Johnny Herbert there, and as we went over the timing beam at the end of the second sector, we were actually level. So maybe if I was a little bit brave on the brakes, I might have got that position, but seeing as I only just lost my nose cone a few laps before, I think maybe I chickened out of that too easily. As we're getting a lot of contact there with the wall, and amongst all of that, Olivier Panis was to retire. But he didn't actually retire from the accident damage, he actually retired from a blown engine, of all things, so actually I didn't feel so guilty after that. So we're going to skip to lap 21, and that is Johnny Herbert in front of us as we make a small bit of contact with the inside wall in the casino square, and going through the hotel hairpin into the portier, and that is our classic move of the day. And we're going to go on to the next lap as we're going to be chasing down Alex Zanardi in the Williams, who's running the same engine as the BAR, and as I said a couple of rounds ago, the Supertech just isn't that powerful on this game. So that's another easy position gained, and not a lot happened after that. So we're skipping to lap 37, and the person who's behind us is Eddie Irvine, the race leader, who wants to put us a lap down. And I don't want to go a lap down, just in case there's another safety car. I could be back in this game, but I do eventually let him go. And we go to the next lap. It's Michael Schumacher who's now trying to lap us, and we hit the inside wall there, and we end up blocking Michael Schumacher off, and David Coulthard will take second place. And to be honest, I did actually want to screw around with Michael Schumacher after what had happened earlier in the race. I wasn't actually intending to try and cost him a position at that point there, and they actually did. So yeah, it was a bit of a funny moment there. So up next was Giancarlo Fisichella. Now he's just come out of the pit. He's just come out of the pit lane, so he was over 20 seconds in front of us, and now he's right there in front of us, and now he's right there behind us. So that's an easy position gain there. And we're now chasing down Jean Alesi in the Sauber for 8th position, and we'll go up the inside into the Mirabeau. Just need to outbrake him slightly. Easy position gained. And at this point here, I was thinking, do you know what? I think I might get a championship point out of this. As we go around the outside of Mika Salo, who's driven straight through the barrier on the inside of the final corner. And maybe that's why the AI is so OP around this track, because they can drive through walls. As we did get a bit rough with Mika Salo there, but we did get the position. But sometimes with the AI, if they drive through the wall, if you hit them in the right spot, they will get stuck inside the wall. So a little tip there, if you don't like someone on this game and you want to get them stuck inside the wall. So anyway, lap 50, we've got Jacques Villeneuve in front of us, so the final World Championship point is right there, and he's been held up really badly by the cross of, in fact that's not a cross, that is Pedro de Nitz in the Sauber, and he's held up Jacques Villeneuve so badly, we've got a World Championship point. I said I'll take that, you know, I'll be happy with a World Championship point before this race started, and I've got it. So just need to retain this position here, but we need to get in front of these back markers, because if we can get in front of them and Jacques Villeneuve can't get past them, that'll be an easy 1 point for us. We're still trying to get past Pedro de Nitz. He's still playing quite rough, and like before with de Nitz, a lot of contact, but we have got through, and now we're trying to get past Johnny Herbert. He chops across us there to stop us getting past, and I think there might be a reason why he's done that. It's because we're in 6th place. I've got a feeling his teammate might be in 5th. If we try and outbrake him into the chicane, a little bit of contact, he shortcuts the chicane, and we're going to get confirmation here. It is his teammate who is next up in front of us. He's 13 seconds in front. There's over 20 laps to go, so it'll be a bit touch and go if we will catch up with Barrichello. As we go on to lap 52 here, we get past Johnny Herbert. We need one more car to pass, which is Alex Zanardi's Williams, and his teammate Ralf Schumacher was in front of Barrichello, so maybe he might have a reason to keep us behind as we go through the chicane, and we hit the wall. We've bounced into Zanardi, and we've lost our front wing again. This is so frustrating. I lost the front wing in qualifying with Benetton, and I've lost 2 front wings in the race. You know, admittedly both of them were my fault. I could have dealt with it a lot better, but sometimes that's the way it goes. So we go into the pit lane. It's an 18-second stop, which I'm going to skip it all out. It's a bit boring to watch an entire pit stop when nothing happens. And we've dropped to 10th place, and not only that, the leaders have lapped us again. But seeing as I don't think I'm going to get a World Championship point, I wanted to see something here. So we're getting blue flags, because behind us that is Ralf Schumacher in the Williams. I wanted to see on this game, does it give you penalties for if you ignore blue flags? And then you see they're getting a bit of contact with Ralf Schumacher here, trying to keep him by to see what will happen. And you know, I keep him behind throughout this lap here, going into the next lap. But as we go through the Casino Square, we're going to get some news. So we go through and into the right-hander, and we do get a stop-go penalty. So this game does have a system on the game where if you ignore blue flags, you will get penalised. But I was just wondering, you know, why in this game, like particularly in the Brazil round where I got really badly held up, why does the AI not get penalties? But anyway, we're going to come in for our stop and go.
He's having to sit here at the end of the pit lane and watch the traffic pass, costing him several places on the leaderboard.
So Murray Walker's saying that would cost us several places on the leaderboard. It doesn't actually cost us anything. We're that far ahead of 11th place. So, you know, I just wanted to see what would happen. I knew I was very unlikely to get a point. So we go to the end of the lap here. We've got Eddie Irvine about to lap us for a second time. Now, some of you might have noticed there on the screen, I've jumped up a position to 9th as I went over the start-finish line there. The reason why is up in front of us there was a retirement, and it was Giancarlo Fisichella in the Benetton. We have a bit of contact there with Eddie Irvine. But this race didn't really have a lot of retirements, not as much as what I would expect, because as you saw there, you know, Pants retired on lap 19, and then the next person to retire was Fisichella on lap 71. As we head over to the final laps now, as we saw there on the screen, Eddie Irvine sets a 1:06, I believe that was. An absolutely insane lap time, so no wonder why I wasn't expecting a good result here. So yeah, Eddie Irvine wins again, so he's won 3 of the opening 4 rounds. That's Mika Salo behind us, who was in 6th place. Now we saw there on the timing screen that it was Jacques Villeneuve who was in 8th place as we go on the final lap, but for some reason he will be down in 12th. And it'll be Johnny Herbert that takes his place, so I'm not really too sure what happened in the game as we get our top 6 there. So it's Irvine from Schumacher, Coulthard 3rd, Ralf Schumacher takes 4th place, Rubens Barrichello takes a well-deserved 5th, and Mika Salo gets another point for the BAR team. So he's only been in for 2 rounds, but he's done absolutely fantastic for them. He's got 3 points for the team. And you know, we're going to see how that is going to affect the championship table. So up in front, we're going to have Eddie Irvine in the lead with 30 points. That is an absolutely huge margin. As I just realised, I've misspelt Michael Schumacher. I'm missing a C in there. Mika Hakkinen is in 3rd position on 14. David Coulthard is 4th with 10. Myself and Damon Hill, we didn't score any points, so we stay where we are, but we dropped a position. Ralf Schumacher will be in 7th. Salo is 9th behind Jacques Villeneuve. Both of them have 3 points apiece. Barrichello has also got 3 points. He's in 10th. And Fisichella didn't score anything, so he remains on 1 point in 11th. In the Drivers' Championship, we got Michael in the Drivers' Championship, in the Constructors. Well, I am dyslexic, so that might be why I've misspelt Michael Schumacher. I'm dyslexic as well as dyspraxic. So, Constructors, Ferrari are in 1st with 46 points. Again, that is a huge lead at this stage of the season. McLaren are in 2nd with 24. Jordan stay in 3rd. We've still got 17 points. We didn't add to that. Williams are up to 4th with 7 points. So another good race by Ralf Schumacher. BAR, adding to their score, they got 6 World Championships points in 5th. Stewart are in 6th, and Benetton still have that 1 World Championship point in 7th. So our next round will be in Spain, which will be a very good, I will be expecting a strong result there. It's one of my favourite tracks on the game, followed by Canada. So, San Marino and Monaco were the races that I wasn't expecting to get a lot of points from. I was happy to get the podium in San Marino. I wasn't expecting anything in Monaco, so these are probably my weak tracks out of the way. So next round is Spain, expecting a strong result. Canada is a place where I'm going to expect another strong result. France as well, one of my favourite races on the game, followed by Silverstone. So got a good selection of tracks coming up where I can probably get my championship going at that point, because I really need to catch up with Eddie Irvine, because he's just absolutely running away with this at the moment. So yeah, so that'll be all for this video for today. Remember to hit like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time in Spain.